A few weeks ago, 21-year-old streamer IShowSpeed woke up one morning, jumped into a private plane, and in less than a month traveled across Africa. Yes, it was beautiful. Yes, it was joyful. Yes, it reminded the world that Africa is alive, warm, funny, creative, and full of beautiful people. But the more I watched, the more I realized the story wasn't really about Speed. It was about us. This guy moved through 20 African countries in 28 days. And at some point, it hit me. How many Africans can do that? The honest answer is none. Even Dangote, the richest black man on earth, with all the money, all the influence, and direct access to presidents, cannot casually travel across 20 African countries in 1 month. That should bother us. Because movement is not just travel. Movement is trade. It is cultural exchange. It is collaboration. It is innovation. And right now, Africans are some of the least mobile people in their own continent. So while Speed experienced Africa as one connected place, Africans themselves are still boxed in fragments. Another thing that stood out was access. Speed met government officials, cultural leaders, doors opened quickly. I mean, he went to Egypt and entered the pyramid. I've never seen the pyramid before. I saw it on Speed's stream. And I kept thinking, how often do African governments give that level of access to their own young creators? Most times, they even see them as noise, or worse, as opposition. Very dark man. Yes! This is the same generation building an entire economy online. And that's the other lesson here. Speed didn't need sponsors. He didn't wait for permission. He spent his own money, traveled freely, streamed everything, and the system rewarded him. Subscriptions, attention, influence, real money. Then he got to Nigeria, and the energy shifted. Instead of saying, let us show who we are, so many people were asking, what can I get from this moment? He didn't come to define Africa. He held up a mirror. And what I saw was a continent that is stunning, talented, proud, but still separated from itself. Maybe the real work ahead isn't changing how the world sees Africa. Maybe it's fixing how Africa connects to itself.
And it just speaks to how we see ourselves. There is this divide. We don't see ourselves as one. There is no trust. And a lot is happening. However, the experience of Speed in Nigeria reminds me of my worry when I engage media gatekeepers, media practitioners, people who their job is to curate culture. I always need them to understand the responsibility that they have, right? Ciara came to Nigeria and she went back and was giving...
She had a great time.
She had a great time. She had great things. All the podcasts and interviews she went to after Nigeria for the following weeks, she was singing praises about Nigeria. And it's not a different Nigeria she came to. As much as we understand our problem as a people, those people I've mentioned previously, media, culture creators, those who do travel and tours, we need to understand the responsibility that we have to also project Nigeria in a great light. His journey to Nigeria could have been so different. There are places I will go to, there are places you have gone into and you advocated for them. In fact, you just told us a story. It's not because you are not feeling the whatever that's tricky, or it's not like you don't know the problem, you know. But at the end of the day, you cannot go out there and talk down on your own people, because talking down on your people means that you are talking down on yourself. Have you read the book of Viola Davis? When you read it, you know that there's level with poverty. She says there's poverty and there's poor. That she grew up in a house where she lived with rats. sewage, everything coming out, that is in the United States, not in Nigeria. So we see US the way it is now because of what they have been able to do with reputation management and Hollywood.
There's something else he said. I think this, while she was talking, I was processing. Curating culture. It's an intentional, deliberate, sustained act. It's like, if my children are misbehaving, they are drawing from me to a large extent. I need to dictate how I want them to see themselves, isn't it? And that was what I said when we discussed this last week. Nigerians have been misled for too long.
Mismanaged.
Misguided. Abused. And it shapes, it affects the way we see ourselves. I'm telling you.
It does, yeah.
So, I gave an example.
Need national therapy.
I gave an example. There's a church, I won't mention the name here. They have the leader who, they have the pastor who tells them they are leaders, they are role models, and they behave that way. If you go to their toilet, you have AC everywhere. If you're sweating in the toilet, if you're used to sweating in the toilet, if you go to their toilet, you will not sweat. We don't have leaders, political leaders, who can help us reshape our self-concept. It's a big problem.
Your advocacy, I saw two things with it, right? Access. Africans access across Africa, and also the idea of self-concept as a Nigerian. Regarding access, I don't know what the African Union is doing. I mean, there's something called the African Union, right?
Yes.
I mean,
There's something.
yeah, like what precisely is the goal if we cannot facilitate access across Africa? It is more expensive for me to go to Egypt than to go to London. It's madness.
You know, it's a longer flight.
It's a long, even Senegal.
Longer flight.
Senegal is like 3 countries or 4 countries away.
Yes, you need to go out of Africa before you
Go
go
back.
into
Yeah.
Senegal. Yes.
Yeah,
You know, and
it's
then
crazy.
you look at all of these things, I would say Africa is not developing. If your neighbor cannot patronize you, how will you develop?
They don't even know what's in there.
They don't
Very
even know,
valid
you know,
question.
And then as Nigerians, yes, you see that idea of self-concept and self-dignity. It's a lot of people lack it. And we have this idea that the grass is greener elsewhere. I mean, you're looking at it, they assume you are a billionaire simply because you are not begging for things, right? They don't know the struggles you're dealing with because you chose to have self-dignity. You know, you chose not to be a beggar. And then the honors of Speed's experience in Nigeria fall squarely on the organizers.
Absolutely.
Because they could have created a better experience for him.
could
And
have.
because that is also not even the experience of an average Nigerian on a daily basis. It's like they were intentional about creating that experience for him.
I think the goal was virality.
Even when you see what they did in Benin Republic and they had like a stadium, everything he was doing was around that place. Like for me to be there and be watching back to back, like just the way you watch Big Brother Live, it's like there has to be drama.
National Union of Road Transport Workers is better than African Union.
They'll just be dropping bars, bro.
See,
It's like it's snapping line every time.
now, what happened ISS is visit has exposed how we behave around money, how we behave around fame and visitors. AJ had an accident on Ibadan-Lagos Expressway.
Had more context
Few
from it.
people were trying to rescue him. Many people were taxing him when his friends were laying dead already.
People were taxing him.
The videos are there. Dana air crash. Ijuishaga.
That one.
People were crying help.
We're stealing
Nigerians
from
went
the victims.
there, cutting hands to steal wristwatches, stealing bags. When people are crying, pain,
We have work to do.
help.
A lot of work.
Our youth see every popular man or celebrity as a mobile ATM. What historical event, what historical center did we take this boy to when he was around? Does that mean we don't have any? We now see hardship as resilience, hustle as a job, begging as a strategy, opportunity as street wisdom. We need mental
Reconfiguration.
rebranding, reconfiguration,
National therapy.
national therapy. Thank you. And how we,
National
you know why? Because the
going
lifestyle
to
of
be the
our
therapist?
politicians and our leaders,
Who's going to be the therapist?
their lifestyle, our leaders across, from traditional to political to religious, the lifestyle
There's a disconnect.
is, I better pass my neighbor.
Everybody's trying to be like that.
Thank you.
They'll do whatever it
so
takes.
what are we modeling to these children? Until that changes, nothing will change.
Zuma opened by asking, if not now, then when? I say, now is the time to keep having those conversations that moves all of us forward.